Bus Manager, the first episode. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone has a good 2026. Today we are going to be doing a go-ahead company, and we're going to do it in the city of Plymouth, which is of course where I'm from, and we are going to call it Go Ahead South West. Better put some spaces in. And of course in this one we are going to be doing the depot build. So let's get loaded in. Now obviously we have two depots in Plymouth for bus routes, and we are going to use Plymouth City Buses depot site, which is up here, situated next to, of course, the Plymouth Argyle Football Club. So we're going to pop it there. Yes, we do. Okay, and now that we are here, we are going to make a start on building the depot. So what I normally do is I expand it to its maximum area. And then obviously all of these I will be doing in the next episode, but for now we are focusing on prioritizing the build. So I'm going to put a street going straight up. And we might see if we can get some buses put in. Don't know if we'll get them liveried up today, but we might do. I don't know if I'm going to stick to one livery or I'm going to have multiple different liveries. Obviously put a comment down in the comment section if you think I should stick with one livery or two. Well, not two, but like multiple different liveries on each bus, so like one different livery per bus, or all the same. But obviously for now, let's make a start on getting the service centre built. So I'm going to come out by 2 on each side. Just bring that out. And then we're going to put some service desks in. We need to rotate them. 2, 3, 5. So I normally put 5 in, so they've got a little walkway here, and then I could put a door onto the back. Put some ticket machines in. And then on these, I'm bringing right up to the wall, so we've got a couple on this side. I'll put 1 or 2 maybe this side, because I'm going to put some chairs on this side. I'm going to go for the black armchair. Put one there. Probably do one like that, just so we've got like a little waiting area, and then we will put in, I think we'll put in some plants. So I usually go for the big plant pot 5. Put 4 here. Just give it a bit of oomph. And then obviously we'll put a bin there. Actually, I'll probably put 1 here, and I'll remove the other one. And then it looks a bit more symmetrical. And that's the service centre all built. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build a corridor onto the back of that, and then add a door. We'll come down like this and come out by 3. We'll add a door here and here, I think. And then what I usually do is sometimes I'll have buses parked on here, so I usually see if I can fit the small one, which I can. So I usually I'll have about 2 here, and then I can put the building here and stretch it to here. So now what I want to do is build an office room. So now I will go to office, and I'll put the office down here. Just because then what I can do is, and I'll leave this bit hanging out because I might extend the office to come down here. I'll put the door there. And what I usually tend to do is have a conference table down the end here. And then I will put a printer and maybe 1 or 2 standing desks in. So I'll put the printer here. And then I will put the standing desk in if I can get the right angle. So standing desk, one of them will go here, and the other one will go just behind it, like so, because I'm only going to have about 1 researcher anyway, because I usually get all of the researching bits here done first, apart from the map. So I expand the map bit by bit, as you will see, but I usually get all of these done straight away, so that means I haven't got to worry about doing it or forgetting to do it. Okay, so now the office is done, we can put a break room in. So I'll probably put the break room down to about this 2nd fence post here. So let's go find the break room, build break room. So about to the 2nd fence post and come back. And then we'll come out by 2 because we've got to extend the corridor, because obviously we've got the kitchen, the bathroom, and then we can add in another door here, and then we will put in, I think, obviously the TV cabinet, because you'll get some people that will want to watch the TV. And we'll put 2 big armchairs in. No, we won't actually. We'll put the grey one in. And we'll put it about 2 blocks away. And then we'll pop in a couple of vending machines. So we'll go here. So you've got 2 drinks, 2 snacks. And then down the other end we will put the radio, 2 black shelves, just to make that look a bit more nicer. Put some lights along the wall. Up to the window, and then I'm going to pop in another window, probably this side and this side, just to add a bit more natural light. And we're going to also pop in, I think, an extra, put in like a little football table. No, actually, because I usually tend to put another one in, like another break room. Full clock there, so that any drivers or people on break can see when their brakes are up. We'll pop in a little lamp down here in this corner and the other corner. I know it's going to be blocking the window, but it's just how I think it should be. And then obviously you've got to have a bin, so I'll put a bin there. And that's the break room done, so now we'll move on to the kitchen. So as you can see, I've popped in the kitchen, so what I'll do is I'll put the bathroom building in, and I've utilised the space where I haven't put any bus parking spaces in, just so that we can expand the bathroom. And then what I'll do is I'll expand that kitchen out by one more row, just to make it even. And then we will put a door here and here, because you don't want your doors too close to each other, because obviously one's a bathroom and one's the kitchen for food. So we'll put in a little work surface area. And then right in the end we'll put the sink. Like that. And then on this side I'm going to have like the dresser, so that people can make their coffees. We'll have about 3 of them, just so well, actually I'll put 4 in, because then multiple people can use at once. And then we can have some fridges and vending machines. So I'll put the fridges roughly fairly close to the units, and we'll have about 6 of those. And then we'll go for about maybe 5 vending machines. Yep. And then obviously we'll put some chairs in. And that's the chairs put in. So that's the kitchen all finished. And then onto the bathroom. So what I tend to do is I tend to put all the walls in first. And now I'll put the toilets in. Also, I need to turn the camera around. And we'll put the partition back in. And obviously guys, when we start hiring staff and that, if you want any of them to be having names, please obviously pop in the comments what you think we should name them, and then we can put the names in. Or if you think they should be left as they are, please let me know. And obviously if there's anything else that I can do to help improve the videos, please obviously let me know as well. And obviously don't forget to like, subscribe, it always helps. Just add in another couple of sinks. Just like that. And that's that done. So now we can go up to the street, put some streets in, because obviously we need to put in a maintenance area. So usually at the far back corner around this area here is where I tend to put the paint shop. So we'll grab the paint shop. And then I will put in a small parking space here. And then that'll be where our fleet maintenance van will go. And then we'll pop in some gas stations, or fuel stops as I think they should be called. So we'll put another one on this side. And we might add a few more in as well. But for the moment we will pop the parking spaces in and add a bit of decoration around this back area. So I need some purple flower. Actually no, I'm going to take the flower out and I'm going to replace it with the hedge. I think it will make it look a little bit neater. We'll grab the hedge. And we're going to go right up to where the street is. Just to give it that bit of texture there for the time being. And then we can carry on adding the rest of the streets. We'll put one here. Like that, and then we'll go all the way up the other end. And we go all the way back down to where the middle barrier is, because we'll go up on that one. So it sort of makes like little boxes for you to canvas and play in, so it makes like a grid. I find doing this helps a lot. And hopefully we can put in either large ones, or most likely we'll go for medium, because then we can add some building blocks around the back, and I usually add extra corridor and break room along here so we can get more staff into the main depot. But for now we will utilize this little area, or possibly this area as well, and get a little workshop going. So I usually put about 4 or 5 of these, possibly 6 in. Like so. And then we'll put in some bus washers. That's a shame. Right, okay. So what we'll do is we will take that out. We'll delete this. And delete this one here. Like so. And then now what we can do is we should be able to add 2 in like so here. And no, actually, we'll rotate it. So delete 1. Delete 2. And then we'll delete this here. Pop 2 in there like so. And then we can, with the hole, expand the hole just to like so. And then I'm going to delete this 1 block wall here. Just bring it down a fraction. Like so. And then what I'll do is I will utilize this space a bit later on. Same with this bit. So what I can do now is pop in some parking spaces. And actually what I'll do is I'll take out a row here and we'll go pop in another gas station just so we can speed up fueling time. I need to take out 1 more space. Like so. And then we will take some of these out. Because I don't really know if I'm going to hedge it the whole way around or if I'll come down here and do something else with this bit, but we can come back to that. We've put in the lifting platforms. I don't really tend to put the large ones in because I don't really tend to use them. The only large ones I do use are coaches, and I tend to put them in an external depot. So what I'll do is I'll put in the rest of the parking spaces and I'll explain the next step. So now, as you can see, now that I have done the first half of the yard for the depot, I now use that half as the, so I use this half as the reference point, and then I just literally just copy it like so, and then up, let's minimize those, and up here I'm going to utilize this space here and make probably a little garden, and then on this half is going to be the warehouse, and then obviously down here will be the staff area, so like their locker room and a secondary break room. So we shall, and these little bits here I'll be putting hedging and walkways, so the path, just to cover that up and make it look a bit neater, and I'll do the same on this side as well. So, but for now, well, actually what I'll do is I will take out these parking spaces and go from this side. Like that, and then we'll get the medium ones again, because some Plymouth routes they have some for small buses, but most of them are mostly single. Most of them are double deckers, but I tend to do a bit of half and half. Okay, now that's done, and then what we can do now is I will pop a few here, and I'll do the same on this side, just so we can get a bit more of a capacity in, and then I'll utilize all of this as a warehouse. So we'll put the warehouse in. Not meant to happen, but not a problem, we can fix that. So we'll take it back to here. Like so, we'll put the parking spaces back in. Press R for rotation. And we just need to take a bit off around here. Like so. And then we'll do the same again on this side. To about there. Pop another one in. Warehouse, and we'll zoom in for this one. Out like that. Bring that to there. And we'll do the outline, and we'll go down the edge. And then that way we can just fill in the middle. Like so. Doesn't seem to like me today. I've never had a problem with it before. Parking space back in. There we go. That's what we wanted. So now it looks like we have a nice big empty warehouse. So we'll put the shelves and the doors in. We'll find the warehouse. Pop a door in this end. A door in this end, and then we'll put the shelves in. So I tend to do it in rows so they can zigzag up the corridors or aisles, but it doesn't always tend to work out. Like that. And we can put another one in here so we can make like a walkway down down at each end. So we'll make them about the same length all the way down. And we'll see if we can get some on this side wall. That little cheeky sausage. Right, so we've got some on this side. Down here, so we can get a fair bit of parts in to get us going. Because the buses do tend to break down quite a bit, so it's better to, especially when you start off in sandbox mode, get all your parts in quick, then that way you know you're stocked up. So now we're gonna go for the corridor. Now what I tend to do is I tend to go all the way down to the end, and I measure. So it's 161, so I tend to go about 120, so about 60. We'll try and go about 65 each. Just make another little locker room here. Like so. And then we'll pop lockers in. So I tend to use the corridors as like their locker room, and then obviously the break room as their break room, because obviously you need a lot of staff. And then what we can do is get rid of these. I have pretty much got another little idea that might work. So instead of doing it lengthways like that for this little section, we can go like this here. Do little blocks of 4. And there we have that one. Is all done. So you got your rows here and then your little blocks of 4 here, just to utilize up that space. And we'll do the same down here. Just to obviously get rid of. So as you can see down in this break room, what I have done is put some vending machines along the side and the odd one here. Your quiet little seating area here, along with some bookshelves. And then you've got your little football tables here. For obviously the staff to have their little tournaments and games. Your TV, which we'll put the same grey armchairs in. Put 4 of them in, and then another 4 at the back to make it a bit like a little cinema for them. Make it a bit homely. Especially for the coach drivers, if they've got their break or they're not due to go out just yet, they can watch a film. And then what we'll do is pop a partition wall in, rid of those two sticking out bits. And then we can pop another door in. So that's your cinema area all set up. And that is the break room and 2 locker rooms done. It'll be dealing with these bits now, and we should be pretty much ready to go for the next episode, number 2, and get everything all going. Obviously, of course, I apologise if you can hear my dog barking in the background, as I'm currently filming this on New Year's Eve at around 6:30, so they are starting to let fireworks off, and he does not like them at all. So what we're going to do is find the street, find the sidewalk, come in quite close so we can get these in like this, and we're coming along just so you finish in line with the last bit of the parking spaces. And then I want to get the hedge. Just fill in all of this blank area here. Just like so. That. And then I can get these ones done quite quickly. And then what I'll do is I'll get all of this side done, and then I will finish off the other side off camera and update you on the next one. So we'll go back to outdoor, find the hedge. So that is what we're gonna have on this side, going all the way down, and in between it will be the parking spaces. And then off camera I will be sorting out all of this bit, just neatening it all up, and then I will get the little garden done, and then we should be ready to go for adding the first of many new buses. Obviously, please like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you for episode number 2. Cheerio.